Yeah, I grew up in a trailer. I did. Like, one of my earliest memories in general is just my parents in the living room and just my dad looking at my mom, just surrounded by that wood paneling that's very convincing. You know, the stuff that when people walk in, they go, a log cabin? You know, that. Just surrounded by that. And then my dad just went, oh God, they're gonna take the trailer. Which is the right level of scared. That's the right, because like an apartment you can get evicted from, right? Like you might have to break a window to get your PlayStation, but like a trailer, they can just take that in the night. You just wake up in a scrapyard and your parents are like, it's a gated community, everything's fine. Everything's okay. Yeah. I lived in a trailer, and then as you do when you live in a trailer, you're like, I hope more people move in. And my uncle did. Yeah, my uncle was like, I'll take that up. So I'm in high school and my uncle moves in. I liked it though. When he lived with us, I did. I enjoyed it because he worked at Krispy Kreme donuts. Yeah, right? Like, some fans in the audience. I didn't know I'd do that joke in Colorado, and you guys are like, yeah. That's great. But yeah, he worked at Krispy Kreme donuts, and I don't know if you know this about their employees, but they'll take donuts home in trash bags. They just 2 big trash bags of donuts, you know, just really bottomless donuts is what it felt like when you're living with that person. And I like bottomless. Like, if you called me today and you were like, Zach, do you want to go to Red Robin and eat fries until the waiter begs you to stop? I'd be like, what are we doing here now? Why can't we be at this bottomless situation, you know? Yeah, so my uncle, he lived with us. He's given us donuts on, you know, I'm from the Midwest, so yeah. And so you guys know that Midwest, we'll talk about donuts, but not our feelings. And so we'd eat donuts and mostly talk about them. And, but you know, I'd catch up on life and what's going on with him, you know. And that was great. It was a great time for me in high school. I loved it. And then one day, no donuts. Yeah. And then a week, no donuts. A couple of weeks, no donuts. And then one day I came home from school and there they were in all their plastic glory, 2 big trash bags of donuts. And I'm eating a donut, I'm catching up with my uncle, we're talking about donuts, our love for donuts. And then he says, yeah, I had to stop for a while because I started locking the dumpster. What's that? Have you been feeding me dumpster donuts this whole time? And he was like, I don't like that you put it that way. And I said, the way it is? And he said, well, I don't get the donuts off the bottom. Those soak up the trash. The donuts I get, just touching other donuts, man. Don't even need to worry about. And I was like, I would like an apology immediately. You've been feeding me dumpster donuts for my entire high school career, and I already live in a trailer. Like, what do you? Like, I want an apology, and truly, to be honest with you guys, I think it's why now I can't eat gluten. So, yeah. I do love food. I love donuts. If you haven't tried a donut, you should. Anyone out there that's on the fence about it, suggest it. Branch out. I don't know what you guys are eating on your day-to-day, but you should try one. But I love food. I moved to New York, and since I moved to New York, I've been trying to see how much I can put on my credit card. And I'll say, like, food delivery apps, they do it for you. They'll get your credit card up there. I love food apps. Food apps are great because the food delivery apps, I never tried them until I moved to New York. So I've been trying all kinds of different ones. I've been mostly using a certain one, and this certain app that I've been using, I didn't know this happened. I didn't know that sure, we all know you get the food, and then maybe you meet them at the door even, you know? And then the app, while they're staring at you, is like, how'd he do? You know, like, and you're like, he's looking at me, 5 stars. Like, what do you? But this is the part I had no idea about. I had no idea that the next day, they'll send you an email, and they'll be like, now that's just you and me. What'd you really think of him? And the way things are in the world, and just how I know apps are, and maybe a little bit of my anxiety, but I still am like, 5 stars. Please don't hurt this man. Like, please don't. I don't want anyone injured. 5 stars, you know? But they'll follow it up. They're like, how'd he smell? And I'm like, I wasn't smelling him. The food came together. It all was there, you know? And they'll follow up and they'll be like, I don't think you understand, man. It's you and me here. It's just you and me. What you really think of them, you know? Which I think is kind of nuts, because it feels like you're just 1 minute away from just the app having a gun, being like, should we murder his family? And I'm like, 5 stars. 5, everything was good. Don't hurt this man. 5 stars, you know? And they're like, really, let us know. We want to make sure you're having the best experience, you know? 5 stars. Because I feel like one time they forgot my drink, and I was like, I can't say a thing. Because I know as soon as I say, hey man, they forgot my drink, they'll be, he forgot your drink? And then the guy on the other side of the app is going to push a button, and the dude's scooter's going to explode. Like, that's... So I just been going 5 stars and smiling as much as I can, like, make it home safe. Like, you know, that's what I've been going with. Thank you all for being here. I appreciate all of you. Thank you. Round of applause. Who's in a relationship? Wow. Okay. All right. This is the right room. I have questions. Okay, round of applause. Who's been in a relationship longer than 5 years? Wonderful, wonderful. Okay, now remember that. The people that have been in a relationship longer than 5 years, I'm trying to talk about this more. You let me know if this has ever happened to you. If this has ever happened, I moved in with my girlfriend. We've been together for almost 4 years now, but the first year that we lived together, the first 6 months that we lived together, I would do my laundry, and then my socks would be gone. And I would do the laundry, and then just no socks. I would do the laundry, I'd be folding it on the bed, and then no socks. And that kept happening to a point that I was getting a little worked up about it, you know? So then I'd be like, turn to my girlfriend and I'll be like, I'm gonna go to Target today and get the 20-pack because I don't know where these socks are going, you know? And then I'd get the 20-pack and then and then they would be gone and you're like, I just bought 20 socks. It's not, what's happening, you know? And I'll turn to my girlfriend and be like, I'm getting a Costco membership today. And I'm gonna see how many socks they'll sell me. You know, like I'm going right now, I gotta get more socks, you know? And that just kept 6 months of just getting more socks. And then one day I turned to my girlfriend and I was like, I had it, I'm getting the socks. And I just am so worked up, I'm walking towards the door. As soon as my hand hits the door handle, my beautiful, loving girlfriend said so sweetly, she said, have you checked the sock drawer? The what drawer? So I went to a dresser I didn't know we owned. And I pulled on the middle drawer, and I'm just like barely, and it's just just so many, just overflowing, just so many crazy amount of black socks just flowing out. And so that means for 6 months, she's had to watch me go, I gotta get more socks! Which means in this new relationship, she's having dinner with a friend, and they're like, how are things? And she has to go, well, things are good except for he's got this thing with socks. And you know that they're like, you should leave him. That's a red flag if I've ever heard one. That's not good. So does that ever happen to you guys, the 5 years that ever? Yes, it happened? Okay, all right, I'm not alone in this. I've been Zack Lyman. You guys have been wonderful. Thank you guys so much. Keep it going for your host.